Good evening, world. Welcome back for another episode of Real Talk with me, Emma G. Tonight, I'm super pumped, more so than usual, because I have my brother from another mother joining us this evening. He is a Latino, Latin American, yeah, singer-songwriter that I have shared the stage with, I think only once. But I fell in love with his music, I fell in love with his soul, and of course, I fell in love with his hugs, which was awesome because, as you all know, I'm the hug dealer of DC, and given that we are all on quarantine and social distancing, I'm just remembering the memory of hugs at the moment. How are you, Chris? What's going on? Happy Monday.
Hello, happy Monday, my friend. It is so great to be with you. I am
Seriously, well,
Chris
I mean, kind of
Urquiaga.
with me.
I'm here. I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of not with you. I'm trying to be with you in spirit, in proper spirit, always and every day. Um,
All I can
it has
ask.
been awesome. It's been awesome to get a call from you to come here.
I mean, it's great to have you here. I've been following you on social media through, pre-quarantine, during the quarantine, and you've been killing the game. From the time that I first met you to, then I saw you were opening for governors and all kinds of hysterically amazing um, political figures around the world, and you travel, you do all these amazing things, and I heard you're writing musicals and you're doing all these amazing things, and I just, it inspires me, man. Like
Oh, thank you.
you're such a force of nature. So
Oh,
how,
trying.
like, tell me about who you are for those of you for those out there that don't know you.
Well, my name is Chris Urquiaga, and I am actually a singer-songwriter with a classical music background. You said it beautifully. I am a Latino, a Latin American queen, as they say, and
And
I
you back
have
it
been
up.
writing music. Yeah, I've been writing music for some time because my classical music background really sprung when I studied composition at the Eastman School of Music in New York. And that was a fun time for me, getting to interact with all of this international talent at this conservatory in New York. So I studied at Eastman, and I grew up as multicultural, having a multicultural identity here in the United States, and learning more about my heritage and my musical talents together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it all really developed to make me who I am today.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I resonate with you so strongly because, I mean, I didn't grow up here in the States, but I'm also very multicultural. My mum's from the States. And so living here as a multicultural person, in my 30s now, it's a really fascinating place to be at the moment. How was growing up in, you say in New York?
No, no, actually, I'm from Maryland. I
Oh, no
am
way. Okay, cool.
born
Makes
and
sense.
born and raised, born and raised here, and I consider myself a true crab because the crab is our mascot, and
I mean, the Maryland crabs are good.
yeah, there's nothing like it, nothing like it, my friend. You can't come for our crabs. You
I
can come
mean,
for our politics, you can come for our land, but you cannot come for our crabs. That's just a given, man. Oh yeah.
oh, it's funny because where I come from, given that New Zealand's an island and Fiji is an island, having yeah, that seafood edge here just kind of took me by surprise a little bit. I was like, oh, this is why it feels like home. Everyone's all about the seafood. It's great.
Oh yeah. And when you go to you're a Washingtonian now, so you know about this. But whenever you go to the wharf in Southwest DC,
Mm,
now you can just smell the seafood there. It's just like it's just become so popular, and like the restaurants have really helped to bring up tourism
yeah,
here, really
for
make it
sure.
more robust. So with that being said, I really hope that the local businesses that make DC so rich and vibrant can return
Totally.
after pandemic.
Totally. There's so many amazing, like the culinary assortment here is just incredible. And I think probably that's another reason why I decided to fall in love with DC and move here because, let's be real, I am a bit of a food snob coming from New Zealand. So, but that's cool. So, how is the? You're a full-time musician. You went to Strathmore, right? You studied at Strathmore.
Uh-huh.
Tell me what that experience was like.
So I was accepted to be an artist in residence at Strathmore, which means that I was a performing artist, not only performing my own headlining concerts at Strathmore, but I was
Mm-hmm.
performing on behalf of Strathmore, representing them at other venues, including the Kennedy Center, as well as other prestigious venues in the area. And we also have done a lot of outreach together to Montgomery County and Montgomery County Public Schools, giving back to children who might
That's
not have
awesome.
great access to music.
That's awesome. What kind of so? How does that? What does that look like?
So I have given workshops to
Mm-hmm.
children in
Mm-hmm.
Montgomery County, music education workshops, teaching them about rhythm. And I have even performed for Spanish language programs in Montgomery County because, as we know, Montgomery County has many people of Hispanic descent
Right.
living there. And so we
Right.
have a lot of kids who are immigrants from Spanish speaking countries who don't know English yet. And so
Right.
I would like to say that I did a small part in trying to help bridge the gap because it can be very scary when we
Yeah.
hear from another country. But just, seeing that someone identifies with you and someone cares to see you learn, it's very encouraging for young people.
So you were born here. Were your parents born here as well?
My parents are immigrants.
Okay.
My parents are from South America. My mother is Brazilian and my father is Peruvian. My stepfather is Canadian. All of my parents are from other lands.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I hear you. I'm very similar with my own thing, but that's cool. So I imagine then that you travel quite significantly, right?
I do. I do. I've been to a good amount of places, I will say. And I feel very fortunate because I have been able to learn a lot from traveling. I've performed in different cities and in different countries.
Mm-hmm.
And I consider it an honor because I'm able to not only share with people who are close to home, but also people who are far away. As a matter of fact, before this pandemic, I actually did a West Coast tour of the United States and was able to perform in several cities in California and in Washington State.
That's awesome. Yeah, California is a great place to perform. Did you have like a favorite city while you were there?
Ooh, you're making me do that. I hope my West
I
Coast friends are not.
only because I want to compare. Only because I want to compare.
You want to compare? Okay, let's compare. Okay, well, I do love the beach. I love it.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
So I have to say, I believe my favorite was San Diego.
Yeah, me too. Snap. Okay.
Really?
I love San Diego so much.
No, but here's the thing. The close second, um, Seattle.
Oh yeah. Okay, so okay.
I love
I've been
Seattle.
to Seattle. I haven't performed there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So
I
how was
think
that?
they would uh, they would adore you in Seattle.
I
Um,
mean, I love
they would adore
shopping
you.
in Seattle.
The
I
topic,
was
yeah,
only
exactly.
yeah. I was only
Oh no,
there
yeah.
for like a weekend. I get away just before coronavirus hit the country. I was
Oh
lucky
wow.
enough to run away to Seattle for a weekend with one of my best friends, and yeah, I love the city. So I need to go back. I need to do a couple of shows, but that's really cool. So how like now that we are literally homebound, um, how how has the current situation of the pandemic, how's that affecting your work?
Well, it has forced me to change my business strategies. I am doing mostly everything online now. I
Okay.
am giving consultation and some music lessons online. I am a conductor, believe it or not. It's kind of random, but I am a conductor of a community chorus in DC
That's
called the
great.
Congressional Chorus is the name of the choir. And I started that conducting job in January after my friend got another job in New York City, and he said, he was the director, and he said, can you just take over and just finish this season for me, just until May, just so that they have, they can end the season successfully. I said, sure. Right before I was going to do my first concert as a conductor with them, that's when the pandemic happened. So that didn't happen. So now I'm just teaching the chorus online, and we're getting ready to do some virtual online choir videos to post, because I said, folks, it's better than nothing. So my contract with them is going to be probably modified and extended, so I can stay with them for longer and guide them through this process, hopefully.
So how do you do that via Zoom? Or I assume that you're doing it via Zoom or Skype or whatever. Because there's such delay.
Yes, a good question. Oh yeah. You know what I wish? I wish we were in the year 2050, my friend, because 2050, I think that's the year that we're not going to have any more delay.
Positivity. I remember thinking that 2000 we'd have flying cars. I'm just saying.
Right. No, I mean, hey, we're just not there yet. And it's funny because with delay, you can experiment like I did with my chamber ensemble, a small group of singers, about 20 people. I said, you know what? I've never done this before. None of us have. If it doesn't work, we'll just get a nice laugh out of it. So we tried it with a metronome on one of the calls. It was a complete mess, did not work. I was like, you see, we laughed about it and we learned about it. So, hey, that's what I'm saying to all my artist friends. We just got to support each other and just laugh and learn.
Right. That's so, okay. So how are you navigating it? Have you had any successful rehearsals thus far?
I'm grateful. I have been able to send part recordings so that they can learn new music in preparation for our virtual choir videos that we're going to be recording together. And I'm going to be editing them, and I'm going to be helping to mix them, and we're going to get some engineers to make it sound, top-notch quality. And so we have been able to. The thing is, everyone has to be on mute except for me, the director. And what I find is that what you play, stop laughing. I'm not a diva. It's not like all eyes on me. It's just that it doesn't work.
Naturally.
Yeah. No. But what you play and sing for them is what they learn to do. Interpretation, phrasing. It's like you imitate. That's how we all start in this business. It's like we learn by imitating others.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. That's really good. That's a really good nugget there, because I feel like you're talking about how you're pivoting your business to online, and I find myself like looking at people, all the entrepreneurs that I'm lucky enough to know here in the States, and trying to imitate. Okay, you're doing that for your business. How can I adjust and imitate that for what I'm doing? So beyond choir conducting, you're working on some other projects, correct?
I am. I've been doing some live stream shows for my pop singer-songwriter career. Cool. And those have been super fun. I've been performing on Instagram, taking requests, playing originals, playing covers, even playing Broadway songs. So it's been super fun. Yeah. I did one in drag recently, by the way, that I just posted.
You did a song in drag? Oh my God.
I did recently. Oh, I did a song from Tootsie, the musical that just closed on Broadway. I Won't Let You Down. That's her audition piece when he is trying to audition as a woman for a job on Broadway. And so I just posted that on my Facebook, so you can check that out. And
I'm so excited. Okay.
So it's me in this like hot fur coat that I got on Amazon, and then some yellow sunglasses that are translucent that I got from Peru, and a rainbow scarf. So and a white shirt with like open show a little bit of taco meat. The taco meat right here.
So do you do your own makeup?
For this one, it just wasn't practical for me to get off the piano and then do makeup, because I didn't want to make people wait for 20 minutes. But I don't do my own makeup. No, in general, no. I whenever I do shows, I generally and shows and music videos, I
Mm.
just get a makeup artist.
Okay. Okay.
So, but I
And
need to learn.
I mean, my first musical job officially, my official first musical job was working in cabaret with drag queens, and they were the ones who taught me how to do my makeup. So
Oh
that's
wow,
the only reason why I ask.
wow!
That's
You learn from the masters.
so I'm like, okay, let's compare tips or whatever. Anyways,
Uh-huh.
so beyond that, you're writing some stuff, some new stuff?
I am. I'm actually. I have not been releasing a whole bunch of new content lately because I'm now in the music laboratory working on new music, and I'm working on new songs with other co-writers from across the country. I'm working with a producer and DJ from Los Angeles, and I'm also working with a guy here in the East Coast who's from Dominican Republic, and we're working on some Spanish language tracks.
Awesome.
And yeah, and this guy's name is Johnny De Jesus, and on Instagram he's as Johnny Tech Audio. So on his Johnny Tech Audio page, you hear all his beats, which are like mashups of Daddy Yankee and Maluma. You have even some Afrobeat style stuff that we're working on as well. So I've been interested in working a lot with co-writers just because that's the next step that I want to take in my career.
So when you say you're working with co-writers, are you working predominantly with producers who also write, or are you working with like singer-songwriters as well, or what's your process for co-writing?
So my process with co-writing is that I mainly work with singer songwriters, or should I say producers who are also singer songwriters, mainly songwriters, not so much performing. They work more on the technological side,
Okay,
coming up with beats, or we can get a nice hot beat on BeatStars, as that is a big thing with urban pop music.
right.
And so we've been doing a lot with that, and we have been, having success doing that because I focus on the performance, they focus on the technical, and we both write together.
Cool. Are you doing that like over Skype, over Zoom, or are you just, is it email to email to email, or I'm so
Well, we're
fascinated.
working
I only
over,
ask because
yeah,
co-writing for me is just like it's still new territory.
uh-huh.
I've recently started coaching songwriting, and so that's kind of helping me get out of my co-writing shell. But I'm so precious when it comes to my lyrics that like if somebody tells me, no, what about this idea? I'm like, no, fuck off. Like I got
Yeah,
this.
like fuck off. No, exactly. No, I used to be like that. I was more narrow about the way that I wanted my lyrics to sound, the way that I wanted my
Right.
music to sound. And that was, and it's very personal for everybody. But for
Yeah.
me personally, that was just me wanting to express myself fully. My first two albums that I released as a singer-songwriter on Spotify and iTunes, those were all original music.
Mm.
Nobody helped me write a damn thing for that shit. I mean,
Even
the
production
for
wise?
production, no production, I did have assistance on that because
Okay, okay.
you can only do so much at once.
Yeah.
You know,
Know
I
your
mean,
zone of genius, as the saying goes. Yeah.
I mean, hey, I mean, not everyone can be like you.
No,
Do it all.
you're fine. I am not a producer. I am not. I'm just very bossy about what I want. That's all.
Right, right. You know what you want, right? You are the producer, not the audio engineer, and hey, that's fine. I also share that in
Yeah.
common with you because I did not have a big background as an audio engineer, as a producer. I had more experience as a performer and as a
Mm.
composer, and then I moved into the technology side, and had to learn about it as I was developing in this industry. Because when you are like us, when we do know what we want, we also have to know how to express it clearly to our collaborators what we want. We have to learn the language that is used.
Right.
Um, Sometimes there can be, even though we're speaking the same um, idiomatic language, sometimes we fail to express ourselves correctly in the particular musical language
Mm.
because, because we don't know. But hey, I'm learning every day. I'm a mess. I'm crazy, but I'll get there.
You're a beautiful mess. Let's be real, friend. Uh, so I mean, and I think it's really valid, your point because especially with the pandemic having hit at such a weird time, and I say that knowing full well that there's not really a normal time for pandemics to hit, but I feel like there's it's now that those skills that you've kind of been secretly letting simmer underneath the surface because you've been in studios, you've watched as producers and engineers have done their magic, and now you're like, okay, cool, we're now able to put our learning hats even on more securely and start making things at home. Are you doing that kind of stuff at the moment, or are you really focusing just on songwriting and sending, you know, rough audio tracks to your producer friends?
Um, I am in a phase now where I am being forced to learn more and more about technology. Everybody's in that phase, but on different levels. I consider myself to be that way in a significant level because my thing was always outsourcing,
Yeah.
having funds in the budget to have someone do the technological stuff for me because
Yeah.
that's just how I like to do things. But not anymore. Now I'm forced to put in that extra effort, a little bit more time to learn really mastering the technology because that's going to help me. Because we cannot outsource everything. We cannot meet in person. We can't go to the studios now. We have to
Yeah.
make it work at home, by
Yeah.
ourselves.
So what are your
So
musical
yeah,
superpowers?
my musical superpowers is that I know how to write a melody. I know how to write a beautiful melody. I always got that comment, and I remember that a professor at my conservatory said, "You should write a musical someday." And he said that based on my classical music that I was writing. Like, it wasn't like you should write in the style of Johann Sebastian Bach, write in the style of Ligeti, write in the style of Rachmaninoff. You should write Broadway, is what he was telling me. I said, interesting. A classical music guy is telling me to go into commercial music, but he heard the instinct and he heard the commercial value. He heard my sensibility for melody. So I've heard that
That's
all my life.
awesome. That's awesome. So you're working on a musical at the moment. Tell me about that.
I'm working on a musical about gentrification called Mr. Manhattan. Mr. Manhattan is a musical
Go
comedy
ahead.
that I am composing. Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
rehearsed
Okay.
this. Thank you. You're so sweet. Mr. Manhattan is a musical comedy about gentrification, and I'm co-writing this musical with Jordan Silver from New York City.
Uh-huh.
And right now, we are currently both working on Facebook chat, mostly. And it's been a rewarding experience because he has been working mainly on books and lyrics, and I have been working primarily on music and arrangements. Although we do contribute and interswap as well with me working a little bit with him on book and lyrics. He works a little bit with me on music and arrangements. We're always sharing ideas with one another. We're like a married couple in a way. We grow together.
Yes.
So
I love it. That that no, that,
so
that, that gives me fond memories because I used to be in a hard rock band back in New Zealand, and it was the same way with my guitarist and I. We would uh, co-write together, and I would often get nitpicky with him, and he would get nitpicky with me. I'm like, we're like a married couple. This is awkward. Okay, let's carry on.
yeah, no, but I think it's so interesting that you and I are similar in the idea that we consider songwriting to be something very personal, and it's
Mm.
hard for us to let go of the reins sometimes. For me, that it's a relatively new thing, but despite some of the challenges doing it, I do enjoy it. I've come to enjoy it. It's been working. So,
You've enjoyed the process of putting your challenges into words. What do you mean by that?
well, there's been sometimes there'll be challenges with you and your co-writing partner,
Mm.
because sometimes you have differences of opinion. Sometimes you do not agree on what should be done.
Right.
And there are technological challenges. There's a lot of problems with technology that happen at the last minute.
Right.
And sometimes you don't have a solution right away. You know,
For
like
sure.
recently I was having a Skype problem with my producer who was trying to show me what he was working on his computer with his beats that he was creating. But for some reason, it couldn't work recently. And before that, it could work. It was working, but all of a sudden, it just doesn't work. Why? Because there's a little glitch in the settings. But we have to be ready for that. So that's why we all have to really study our
Yeah.
technology now more than ever.
Yeah. 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 So, are you finding like, are you worried that this is going to be an ongoing thing that we're going to have to just pivot and stay here and keep figuring out the technology to make things work for us, or what are your thoughts around that?
Hmm. Well, my thoughts are largely based on the research that I've done, because every day, when for the first 2 months of this, or we just hit a month and a half, 2 months, I was reading the news every day, getting briefed on this. I signed up for a subscription for the Washington
Same.
Post. Yeah. I signed up for my subscription for the Washington Post
Oh my
because I
lord.
said, God,
Okay.
I said, God damn it, I can't take it anymore. I just, the news, the TV news gets so stressful for me. I just
Mm,
think there's so much cacophony and dissonance and so much hype in the media that I just need to see printed words for me to focus more on detail, policy, and the facts.
right. Right. So how are you? I mean, you're doing better than me. I'm getting most of my news from the Daily Show. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
because at
I
least
love
it's
the
like
Daily Show.
makes my soul a little bit more happy. But I'm
Hmm.
finding, like just everything is about coronavirus. We've forgotten about the homeless. We've forgotten about other diseases. We've forgotten about, murder, all the things that affect the states because guns. Um,
Right.
but um, you know, in amongst that, how are you managing to find slivers of hope or silver linings, or what have been the silver linings for you?
The silver linings is that we're all learning that we should never take for granted the blessings that we have around us. We should always try to check up on our loved ones
Mm-hmm.
and on our friends. And we should always be supportive of our colleagues. In music, there is big competition. I get that. But a lot of times the disagreements can be petty. Um, Artists try to tear each other down when they should be lifting each other up. So I think that this has been a big wake up call that shows us that none of us are invincible.
Mm-hmm.
We're all fragile in this business.
Yeah.
Anything can, one little thing like this microscopic thing shut down our business. It's crazy.
Are you finding that the musicians in your bubble, in your not bubble, the musicians in your hemisphere, in your world, that you beyond the producers that you're working with, have you found much support between your communities?
Yes, I'm grateful for that because I have found that friends of mine have been so helpful in helping me clear my doubts, and they're always so ready and professional to help me whenever I do have questions about
Mm-hmm.
technology, about music, about process, about plans for the future, how they're running their organizations next season. How is that going to be a thing? Certain apps that they're using to record virtually with other
Yeah,
musicians, So I just feel like they've been so kind in helping me with that.
that's cool. That's really, really cool. Are there any other silver linings you've found?
Yeah, I've been drinking a little more. Um, I've been drinking at home. I'm not out and about, so I think that I'm safer at home. When I drink my alcohol, I've been drinking liquor. I've been drinking beer. I've been drinking wine. I've been drinking everything.
I'm curious as to why that's a silver lining.
I think before I would only drink when I was out, and when you're out, sometimes you're not in the safest environments.
Right.
Sometimes you're
Okay.
not, especially if you're a woman, you're not always around people who respect you.
Right.
And, they might want to slip something into your drink to seduce you. I mean, we have to be real about this and call it out now, you know. But
I have to
you know what?
question whether or not that's seduction or not. But
Yeah.
no, you're completely valid. Um, like, oh, hey, baby, do you want to slip me into my drink? Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
You know what I like.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. Poor choice of words.
No, no,
Forgive me.
I totally appreciate that. Was hilarious for me.
Yeah.
But no, you're completely right. Like it's a thing that women have to be very very cognizant of, especially in big cities here. And it's not something that I grew up with, certainly. But and you're right, and it's a lot cheaper at home, and it's a lot safer at home. Are you quarantined by yourself? Do you have roommates or?
Oh no. I'm with family in Maryland right
Oh,
now.
cool.
I'm in the basement. My parents have a nice big house here in Silver Spring, and I live with my sister now, who is um, an employee at a plastic surgeon's office
Oh,
in the
wow.
DC area.
Okay.
And my mother is right now doing most of her work right now with taxes, real estate, and also with audit work. And my stepdad is a project manager. So we're all four of us are here in the house, and I have my studio space down here, this nice big room. So yeah, I'm very grateful. Where are you, by the way? Are you in DC?
Yeah, I'm in Brightwood, which is not far from you actually. It's kind of if you go from Silver Spring to Tacoma Park, and then I'm in Brightwood, which is the next neighborhood down before Petworth.
Oh, beautiful,
Yeah,
nice neighborhood.
really nice neighborhood, great neighbors. The silver linings that I'm really focusing on and finding, because I go for runs or long walks every day, um, to sort of just get some fresh air in my life. And the
Mhm.
amount of like love within my neighborhood is really visible now.
Oh
People are
wow,
actually like smiling and saying hello to each other, and most people know my name now, and
right,
it's the sense of community since this broke out has been incredible. But it's just
right.
me and my housemate, and the cat.
Oh, I have another silver lining. So
Tell me.
my other silver lining is that I was always going to the gym because I had a personal trainer, and I would go to Washington Sports Club or New York Sports Club,
Ah,
depending on where I was
I'm a
at.
Washington Sports Club girl.
Oh, you are? Oh,
Yeah,
awesome! I love it there.
it's
It's
great.
amazing. It's great. It has everything,
Yeah,
and so they have everything. But then when you can't go to the gym anymore, you feel like you lose everything. So I have been forced to create all my own workouts now.
get it,
All
dude.
my own home workouts, resistance band with the bar handle. We're talking pull-up bars, um, full body workouts, getting your mat together. You know what I'm saying? It's just awesome being able to just stay active and just being able to run outside and this beautiful weather that we're having now.
Yeah. Who needs a
It's a silver
treadmill,
lining. Yeah, no treadmill. I hate the treadmill now. I hate it.
No, I hear you 100%. I've been doing the Sean T uh, insanity workouts over on
Mhm.
whatever Google Drive or whatever, and it's totally changed my. It's made my at home workout process just so much more happy. It's good.
Right.
No, that's cool.
Exactly. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, and I feel like I'm finally getting to the point where I'm getting my abs back. So, you know, every day is another day. It's exciting.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So, beyond beyond your co-writing and your musical that you're writing at the moment. So, do we talk enough about your musical? You're talking about gentrification. Did you want to
Yeah,
add anything?
gentrification. Yeah, it's gentrification. This guy named Skylar Manhattan, who is the
Uh,
main character, he moves to a city called Major City, USA. And it's a fictional city that we made up. And he moves into way uptown
mm-hmm.
in Major City. And so he moves into the way uptown neighborhood, and it's being gentrified. And he essentially has a choice to make. He can either side with June, who is an activist that he has fallen in love with, to help fight against the gentrification, or he can side with the landlord and accept a job that the landlord offers him to work for this big real estate company and to redevelop way uptown and to destroy June's home. And it's messy because June doesn't love him back.
Oh,
You
oh,
know, it's unrequited love. She's this beautiful woman who is super fierce, super aggressive. She wants no man to get in her way. And Skylar is this airhead who's nowhere near as smart as her, who can act like a nuisance, but he wants to be the coalition leader. And she
yeah.
says, "No, you don't know anything. You just moved here." So it gets a little messy, but hey, people like messy, I guess. So,
I mean, life is messy, right? I think
hmm
if we can distract ourselves from other people's with other people's mess, um, that can make us feel better, I guess.
hmm
At least that's why I get so sucked in on those messy shows. I'm currently
oh,
watching Power over on the Stars Network, and that's messy. But it's nice
wow.
messy because then it just distracts me from all of my mess.
I need to watch that because right now I'm watching Ozark.
Oh, I've heard really good things about that.
Yeah, no, I'm loving it. It's a crime show, and it involves a family that is like involved with laundering money to the Mexican drug cartel,
Oh wow.
and they're promising we're gonna launder millions and millions of dollars for you, like in the middle of nowhere in the Ozarks. And I'm like, wow. When I watch that show, that's when I feel better about myself. I'm like, wow, I feel at peace compared to these people.
I mean, it's similar. This show Power is it's about a family that the father is or the head of the family is he's a drug dealer, a very successful drug dealer, but uses a club as his kind of shield. And he's then fallen in love with his old flame from high school, and yeah, she turns out to be a lawyer for the government, and they're after him, and it's a thing. It's a thing. Everything's
Right.
messy. And it just makes me feel like my life is peachy, right? Everything's peachy.
Uh huh.
We have a
Right.
house
Everything's
during
peachy.
pandemic. We're fine.
Exactly. If you have a house, be grateful. Be grateful. Yep.
For real, for real. Cool. So you're working on one other thing during quarantine, and that has to do with some uh, TikToking of some description, I believe.
Yes, I'm
I
actually.
try to get a TikTok. I've got an account. I need to like learn how to use it better. Tell me more about that.
Well, I actually have not posted yet on TikTok. I made my account a few weeks ago, but right now I'm working on music, and I'm gonna release snippets of it, and I'm gonna be releasing some dance songs on TikTok.
Does this mean that we're gonna see you dance?
I think you will. I've been working. My ex was a dancer. He taught me some good moves. So I think I think you might see some of that.
That's cool. That's really cool. I'm excited to see your TikTok. How do we follow you on TikTok?
You can find me on TikTok under J Chris Music, and
Oh,
that
that's the
is
same as your
written.
Instagram handle, J Chris.
Yep, similar. JCHRIS Music. Instagram is J Chris underscore Music.
Oh,
Yeah,
fancy. What does the J stand for?
John
Is that your actual real name?
John Christopher. That's my first name.
Oh my goodness. Can I tell you a secret? My last
Please.
name doesn't actually start with G.
Huh?
My
What does it
last
start
name
with?
has an A at the beginning. It's hyphenated. So, but I figured, most, it doesn't sound as good saying Emma A. Emma G just sounds, it rolls off the tongue better. So my entire life I've been Emma G. But my actual last name starts with an A. So there we go. We both got secrets. We both have complicated last names and we both have secrets.
Right. Uncommon last names and these beautiful stories to match. I love it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, hey, it's more interesting, I think.
Well, you were saying that, like, the beauty of having a complex last name is it's like you might be Chris Urquiaga for your music thing, but when it comes to winning your first Grammy, having the exotic name, really it's a powerful punch to the feelings, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean that you have an Oscar-winning name. Your full name, not Emma G. I like Emma G because I mean Emma G. I see a girl getting on guitar and just really rocking that microphone and just bringing the house down, which is what you do. Um, but Emma, um, Gamagami,
Yes. That's very
Gamagami.
close.
That's
I'm
what it
very
is.
proud of you right now.
Yes,
Give you a
Gamagami. Is that
virtual
it?
hug.
Is that it?
Gamagami.
Gamagami. Yeah,
Yes.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Gamagami. No, that's the Oscar goes to Emma Gamagami. You know, Emma G. It's good. Emma Gamagami. That you got to own that girl. So your actress name should be Emma Gamagami.
Okay. It's funny. It's an Iranian name. It's from Iran or Iran or however you want to pronounce it.
Oh,
Um, and
right.
the meaning behind it is the power behind the throne. So
Ah.
basically, what I think is I need to like make my next album about being royalty, right? And then get you in on there to play some keys and do some sing-alongs and
Hey.
maybe add in a Spanish verse or two because I don't speak Spanish, but everyone thinks I am.
I would love to.
Yeah, for real. But so what is Urquiaga? Like, what are the historical roots of that name?
Okay, so Urquiaga is a Basque name. It is from Basque country in Spain,
That's
and
cool.
that is something that I learned when I was in university because I had a Mexican composition teacher who taught me that. He taught
Okay.
me that my name was like his. Sanchez Gutierrez was his last name. Was from Basque Country.
Hmm. That's cool.
So, so yeah, I was like, okay, sounds great. So my ancestors are from there. That's when I really learned that my ancestors are from Spain and Portugal and Italy.
And Israel?
Oh, Italy.
Oh, Italy. I was like, what? Where did that come from?
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, Israel would be a bit of a stretch there. It's like, wow, he's Jewish too.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real. I can't sneeze at that kind of multiculturalism, even if it was true. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I've covered most continents in my genealogy. So, can you clarify for me in Spanish culture, is there not much emphasis on where you come from, or how does that? What I mean by that is in Fijian culture and in Maori culture, which is the indigenous New Zealand culture, um, when you enter a room, for example, you introduce yourself by essentially giving everybody your family tree. You tell them what church your family goes to. You tell them how your family arrived on what boat back in the day,
Uh-huh.
and how like what your ocean is, whatever it is. Is there not that much kind of familiarity with your own lineage, or how does that work?
No, there is that. Um, what there is in Latin America is there is a lot of mixing of races,
Okay.
more so than the Americas. In the Americas, we have more of this sense of homogeneity, where interracial marriages are not quite as common,
Mm-hmm.
but interracial relationships in South America are more common, especially in the country of Brazil. And in the Spanish speaking countries, we have the mestizo mix. The mestizo meaning the native South Americans and the European mixture.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And so
Mestizo.
you see a whole lot of that, mestizo. And I was learning a lot about that in college because I was also studying the history of Latin America because I just wanted to answer a lot of questions. I mean, where do I come from? Why does this happen in Latin America? What are these traditions that, and why are they so special?
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of names in Latin America, what you generally have is first you have two last names, and the first last name that comes for you is your father's last name. Second last name is your mother's last name.
Interesting. Why?
So
Why that? Why that grouping?
I am not so sure why, but it is a tradition that is long-standing, and I think it has a lot to do with preserving family origin.
Okay, but
Um,
wouldn't that change quite significantly? Like if I took my father's last name and my mother's last name, then my last name would essentially be. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you sure? Okay. My
mhm.
last name would essentially be Mbosnawalangi Amerigamagame.
Oh wow.
Yes. And then my children would then be, I don't know, Smith Mbosnawalangi Amerigamagame. Right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. Right.
That's crazy. So how, at what point do the names drop off?
What point did names drop up? Is when you can change your name now. Obviously, that's a big thing now. What people can do, and also when you marry.
Okay.
When you marry, um, generally speaking, keeping the father's last name. That's a general thing. Although
Mm-hmm.
there is leeway around it. You can adopt the mother's last name.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And so what you see in Latin America is that you have a greater sense of community and family
Mm-hmm.
because of this. You have um, the father side of the family and the mother side of the family coming together more because of this element of shared origins, because of these family connections. The sense of really supporting one another and giving a great sense of stability and cushion for your children, even economically, is a big thing in the Latin American culture compared to the American culture, which is more this sense of you move out of the house and go to college when you're 18 years old, and you can move back home when you graduate college, but you should move out as soon as possible. You know, there's that greater sense of family ownership and community and connection, really.
Have you found that this pandemic has brought more community and connection to the forefront of your circles?
I think so because now we're making more of an effort of checking up on each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know what's going to happen mentally to somebody because of this. People
Yeah.
can suffer from depression. I Every now and then I'd like to call elderly friends that I have, send them emails, send them text messages saying, "Hey, how are you doing? How are you holding up? Um,
Gutsy.
are you staying sane?" So
Yeah.
the sense of family in this pandemic is good because we've been cherishing the moments that we can see each other, even if it's social distance.
Right. Did you hear that GW University and 202 Creates have recently joined forces to offer some free counseling for artists within the DMV?
I did not hear that. That's amazing.
Isn't it fantastic? They're trialing it out at the moment, specifically during this pandemic. I think it rolled out last week, but they're looking at other universities throughout the region who want to partner for that as well, especially during quarantine when so many of us musicians have essentially lost our jobs.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, look, where at least for me, I feel a lot of people have been showing up and the community have really started, supporting and showing love for us. Speaking of which, I mean, so I recently kickstarted my Patreon, but you've you're in the mix of kickstarting your Patreon as well, aren't you? Can you tell me
Yep,
about?
yep. I am setting up a Patreon page, and I'm going to be giving perks to those who donate a small amount each month. They're going to be able to have virtual meetings with me online, whether it's for music tips or show business tips or just to talk.
Like a
As I do
one-on-one?
like one-on-one meeting or group meetings.
Okay, okay. I was gonna say, like,
Um,
man, doing like, because once you get to 1,000 supporters, how are you gonna fit that into your day?
yeah, I'm gonna have to modify at that point. But hey, you just do what you have to do to really keep connecting with your fans because one of the things that I like that you do is that you connect with your fans organically. You are a big live performer. And so
Thank you.
you take that element on your online work as well. And I do admire that. And I come from the same background, I think. For me, it wasn't like I just spent the beginning of my career in front of a camera and posting everything on YouTube, everything on Instagram, everything on Facebook.
Yeah,
For me, it was just where I really learned how to become an entertainer was just getting out there and just performing in person.
yeah. I think for me, I mean, part of my journey as a musician has been really realizing that it's we can put on this facade, especially when you work in cabaret and you do all these things. But um, I think from my soul, I need to connect with people. I need that. You know, my music is not for me. My music is for all of us. We're gonna get through this together, right? So
Right.
I think that's where I don't know. I don't even do it consciously. I'm just like, hey, I'm human. You're human. Can we be human together?
Yeah. Right. Right. And it's weird because with physical distance now, we're learning how to work together more. We're learning how to unite forces more. And I think that's a valuable thing that we're going to have moving forward is that connection and relationship will mean and it can mean a great deal more because of this tragedy.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Thank you so much for being here today, Chris. I really I
Thank
miss
you.
your energy. I miss your soul. I miss your music. I miss your hugs. I miss all the things, basically. But it's really
Virtual hug.
Nay! My favorite. Um, before we take off, is there anything else that you wanted to sort of let people know about or share where they can find you and how people can stay in touch and support you?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I want to thank Emma Gamagami,
I'll stop.
supporting me, and for inviting me here. You are awesome. And you can find my music on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter under J Chris Music. That is written the letter J, Chris Music. So you'll find new updates on my new music that I'll be releasing soon, and my new Patreon page and TikTok. And TikTok, I am J Chris Music as well. And on Instagram, please follow me there. I am J Chris underscore music there. So
Will your
the,
Patreon also be J Chris Music?
we'll see about that. Maybe somebody stole it at this point, but
No!
I'm gonna see about that. Hopefully, yes, it'll work out.
Right, right.
but but I'll keep everyone posted and stay tuned for more updates on my musical Mr. Manhattan and my new pop songs and Latin songs that are coming out. So
Cool.
yeah, I just want to let everyone know that we will get through this storm together. Stay encouraged.
Word. Hey, thank you so much, man. Thank you all for listening in and sharing some love. Please stay healthy, stay safe, spread love like it's going out of fashion. Be nice to each other, of course. And don't forget to call your mum.